to start recording. It's story time. It's time to get quiet and relax. I'm Calvin Barast with tall tales that salve the soul. And what I was talking about earlier with all my pals here in the airport lounge and waiting zone where there's air conditioning and coffee. I was being told I was acting like a child. And I said, yeah, when I was 12, I drank too much coffee. I got high on coffee. So finally, I got high in the downtown east side. It's socially acceptable. Some people don't like it if you drink coffee. I don't know about those people, but I was told I was acting like a child without my neurological medications. That we got sorted, and, I can't say I'm sorry for all my medicines, right? So I agreed. No, it's very childish to be, on no proper food, and I haven't eaten over the week, and that's not why I'm saying it. I'm saying I accidentally got high on caffeine itself. We all saw the Panera Girl video, high on caffeine. Don't Google it at all because you've seen it already. So number 2.2, I got high in downtown side on caffeine. I marched up the block looking for neurological medications, which she said, calm down. I said, yeah. Yeah, I need a couple beers in me and a steak dinner and some asparagus. But that is a violation of the Doctrine and Covenants, section 86, drinks that are served hot. So it's making me no longer temple worthy in the eyes of, We can't sing or anything because it'll violate the copyright and we'll lose our liquor license. So, and third of all, it's the Book of Job, right? When did you first become? Okay, so coffee is my only trouble, and as long as let's just close that. And what was happening in the Book of Job? Okay, God bless the reading of your word. Bless the whole city of Vancouver, Canada, and any other cities that exist. I've never heard of any that I can recall. Okay, I don't hear of any cities around me other than the one in which I live, and it's a beautiful place. It's actually imaginary. Conspiracy theory confirmed. Yeah, Vancouver doesn't exist. It's just made up for television. So sorry, I'm in a room in a top secret bunker in Langley, Virginia, and they don't let me out ever, and they don't feed me anymore. So I'm high on caffeine. That's all I'm allowed to have. Honest Injun. So public speaking, okay, yeah, it's getting him to shut up. Public speaking is you breathe out first. This is a natural day to be a natural human animal on the earth, okay? We're all allowed to know the body part. God bless the reading of your word, and it's a beautiful night in wherever we live on this planet earth. Tall tales that salve the soul, brought to you by me. I'm Calvin Patrick Barast. Then Eliphaz the Temanite replied, would a wise person answer with empty notions, or fill their belly with the hot east wind? Would they argue with useless words, with speeches that have no value? But you even undermine piety and hinder devotion to God. Your sin prompts your mouth. You adopt the tongue of the crafty. Your own mouth condemns you, not mine. Your own lips testify against you. Are you the first man ever born? Were you brought forth before the hills? Do you listen in on God's counsel? Do you have a monopoly on wisdom? What do you know that we do not know? What insights do you have that we do not have? The gray-haired and the aged are on our side. Men even older than your father. You learn from your father well. Men older than your father. That's editorializing. I misspoke. I apologize. Verse 11. Are God's consolations not enough for you? Words spoken gently to you. Why has your heart carried you away? And why do your eyes flash? So that you vent your rage against God and pour out such words from your mouth. What are mortals that they could be pure, or those born of woman that they could be righteous? If God sorry. If God places no trust in his holy ones, if even the heavens are not pure in his eyes, how much less mortals who are vile and corrupt, who drink up evil like water? Listen to me, and I will explain to you. Let me tell you what I've seen, what the wise have declared, hiding nothing received from their ancestors, to whom alone the land was given, when no foreigners moved among them. All his days the wicked man suffers torment, the ruthless man through all the years stored up for him. Terrifying sounds fill his ears. When all seems well, marauders attack him. He despairs of escaping the realm of darkness. He is marked for the sword. He wanders about for food like a vulture. He knows the day of darkness is at hand. Distress and anguish fill him with terror. Troubles overwhelm him like a king, poised to attack. Because he shakes his fist at God and vaunts himself against the Almighty. He runneth upon him, even on his neck, upon the thick bosses of his bucklers. What does that mean? This is why people don't read this version. For copyright reasons, we cannot have the entire content be someone else's. That doesn't make any sense to me. See? And vaunts himself against the Almighty, defiantly charging against him with a thick, strong shield. Though his face is covered with fat, and his waist bulges with flesh, he will inhabit ruined towns and houses where no one lives. Houses crumbling to rubble. He will no longer be rich. His wealth will not endure. This sounds like someone else. This little line. Nor will his possessions spread over the land. He will not escape the darkness. A flame will wither his shoots, and the breath of God's mouth will carry him away. Let him not deceive himself by trusting what is worthless, for he will get nothing in return. Before his time he will wither, and his branches will not flourish. He will be like a vine stripped of its unripe grapes. Now they threaten me with that. Pardon me. Like an olive tree shedding its blossoms. For the company of the godless will be barren, and fire will consume the tents of those who love bribes. They conceive trouble and give birth to evil. Their womb fashions deceit. Then Job replied, I have heard many things like these. You are miserable comforters, all of you. Will your long-winded speeches never end? What ails you that you keep on arguing? I also could speak like you. If you were in my place, I could make fine speeches against you and shake my head at you. But my mouth would encourage you. Comfort from my lips would bring you relief. Yet if I speak, my pain is not relieved, and if I refrain, it does not go away. Surely, God, you have worn me out. You have devastated my entire household. You have shriveled me up. And it has become a witness. My gauntness rises up and testifies against me. God assails me and tears me in his anger and gnashes his teeth at me. My opponent fastens on me his piercing eyes. Yeah. People open their mouths to jeer at me. They strike my cheek in scorn and unite together against me. God has turned me over to the ungodly and thrown me into the clutches of the wicked. All was well with me, but he shattered me. He seized me by the neck and crushed me. He has made me his target. His archers surround me. Without pity, he pierces my kidneys and spills my gall on the ground. Again and again, he bursts upon me. He rushes at me like a warrior. I have sewed sackcloth over my skin and buried my brow in the dust. My face is red with weeping. That's why. Dark shadows ring my eyes. Yet my hands have been free of violence. And my prayer is pure. Earth, do not cover my blood. May my cry never be laid to rest. Even now my witness is in heaven. My advocate is on high. My intercessor is my friend. As my eyes pour out tears to God. On behalf of a man, he pleads with God as one pleads for a friend. Only a few years will pass before I take the path of no return. My spirit is broken. My days are cut short. The grave awaits me. Surely mockers around me, my eyes must dwell on their hostility. Give me, O God, the pledge you demand. Who else will put up security for me? You have closed their minds to understanding, therefore you will not let them triumph. If anyone denounces their friends for reward, the eyes of their children will fail. God has made me a byword to everyone, a man in whose face people spit. My eyes have grown dim with grief. My whole frame is but a shadow. The upright are appalled at this. The innocent are aroused against the ungodly. Nevertheless, the righteous will hold to their ways, and those with clean hands will grow stronger. Sit properly. Ergonomics. Hashtag. On the 1-4 minute into the thing. You can't just read forever. I should be eating and drinking and appling it up and such, but, you know, here we all are. But come on, all of you, try again. I will not find a wise man among you. My days have passed, my plans are shattered, yet the desires of my heart turn night into day. In the face of the darkness, light is near. If the only home I hope for is the grave, if I spread out my bed in the realm of darkness, if I say to corruption, you are my father, and to the worm, my mother or my sister, where then is my hope? Who can see any hope for me? Will it go down to the grey gates of death? Will we descend together into the dust? And then Bildad the Shuhite replied, when will you end these speeches? Be sensible, and then we can talk. Why are we regarded as cattle and considered stupid in your sight? You who tear yourself to pieces in your anger, is the earth to be abandoned for your sake, or must the rocks be moved from their place? The lamp of a wicked man is snuffed out. The flame of his fire stops burning. The light in his tent becomes dark. The lamp beside him goes you and the person next to you. Yeah. The light in his tent becomes dark, the lamp beside him goes out. The vigor of his step is weakened. His own schemes throw him down. His feet thrust him into a net. He wanders into its mesh. A trap seizes him by the heel. A snare holds him fast. A noose is hidden for him on the ground. A trap lies in his path. Terrors startle him on every side and dog his every step. Calamity is hunger for him. Disaster is ready for him when he falls. It eats away parts of his skin. Death's firstborn devours his limbs. He is torn from the security of his tent and marched off to the king of terrors. Fire resides in his tent. Burning sulfur is scattered over his dwelling. His roots dry up below, and his branches wither above. The memory of him perishes from the earth. He has no name in the land. He is driven from light into the realm of darkness, and is banished from the world. He has no offspring or descendants among his people, no survivor where once he lived. People of the West are appalled at his face. Face for radio. No. So if you make a mistake, you say, rather, or rather that should be. Okay, so I can't see too great today, but that's just neither here nor there. But I thought, hey, face for radio, get it? Okay, so he has no offspring or descendants among his people, no survivor where once he lived. People of the West appalled at his fate. Those of the East are seized with horror. Surely such is the dwelling of an evil man. Such is the place of one who does not know God. Then Job replied, and we can't read forever. 23 minutes is the maximum attention span of a human, so I'll talk now for a while. It's coffee time. Let's go get some. I almost forgot to do my drugs. I'm an addict and I gotta do it. So I got this coffee, I got a whole kit here, at the old crappy tire. The old spare tire. And got the to-go cup, okay? Gotta be like in style. Got the disposal, zero waste, it's what they had, so there you go. I had to get it. Got the grinder, okay, check this out. And then I keep my top secret stash hidden in a coffee tin, because that's what I saw, where addicts put their stuff on television. I watch TV and I believe every word of it, and so I keep it in this top secret spot of coffee. So, and then like a true addict, I've got the old basket here. Still got some in there just in case, emergency coffee supply. But there we go. So I can have coffee. It's 9:30 a.m. somewhere. Gotta get the job done somehow. Hashtag not sorry. I have is it tan lines? Like I was wearing sunglasses out in the sun all day. Not supposed to do that, but if I look like a raccoon, if it's food, throw it my way. Been encircling like a vulture looking for food to devour. Okay, well if coffee time is over, how many more minutes do we have? 19 minutes. No, we have 2 minutes to wrap it up. What's Job going to reply to all this? He's like, it sounds kind of accurate. What he said was accurate. He's right and he's right. They can't both be right. Hey, now I sound right. Haven't got a clue indeed. Then Job replied, how long will you torment me and crush me with words? 10 times now you have reproached me. Shamelessly you attack me. If it is true that I have gone astray, my error remains my concern alone. If indeed you would exalt yourselves above me and use my humiliation against me, then know that God has wronged me and drawn his net around me. Though I cry, violence, I get no response. Though I call for help, there is no justice. He has blocked my way, so I cannot pass. He has shrouded my paths in darkness, and rather, shrouded my paths in darkness. He has stripped me of my honor, and removed the crown from my head. He tears me down on every side till I'm gone. He uproots my hope like a tree. His anger burns against me. He counts me among his enemies. His troops advance in force. They build a siege ramp against me and encamp around my tent. He has alienated my family from me. My acquaintances are completely estranged from me. My relatives have gone away. My closest friends have forgotten me. My guests and my female servants count me a foreigner. They look on me as a stranger. Rather, they look on me as on a stranger. I summon my servant, but he does not answer. Though I beg him with my own mouth. My breath is offensive to my wife. I am loathsome to my own family. Even the little boys scorn me. When I appear, they ridicule me. All my intimate friends detest me. That's all the time we have. Good night, everybody.